Okay viewers, so we're in Glasgow Central train station. I'm running a wee bit late here. We've got Chain Reaction, Diana Ross on the piano here. I love a wee piano on the train station. Have you ever seen the video on YouTube of the guy who is a famous guy who plays down in London, and he gets approached by some sort of Chinese society group or party, and they end up fighting with them, telling them they want him removed from the video and all sorts. It ended up a viral video. Anyway, I don't know what the point of that was. Let's continue. We are on our way to see the famous Max Fosh. Now, for all my older viewers like myself who probably don't know who this guy is, he's playing a show at the Pavilion tonight, and we're going to head up. You'll see a wee bit of Glasgow on the way as well. There's a wee memorial for the railway workers here. Pretty nice. A viral sensation. Now, if you've ever remembered the video on YouTube where people were coming in to land at a London airport, and Max Fosh decided to create a sign in a field just as you were landing, so when you looked out the window it said "Welcome to Luton Airport," except they weren't flying into Luton, they were flying into Gatwick or Stansted or something, so everybody in the plane obviously started panicking. So that was a very clever video. 15 million views I think it's had on YouTube. So I thought I might get some tips from this guy. He might shock me with a loophole. That's the name of his show. I've yet to see what it's going to be like. There's the Blue Lagoon. If I need a wee fish and chips later on, I've not done any dinner yet. I'm running late because I missed my train. That's another story. But anyway, let's continue. I was getting the train times mixed up as normal, viewers. We're heading up Renfield Street. Yeah, we're heading up here. And I'm running a wee bit late. This show starts at 7:30 now. If you're not familiar with the Pavilion in Glasgow, I'm going to give you some interesting facts about it as well. We'll also talk about some of Max's famous videos. So I think every video brings out, he'll be expecting to get at least 1 million views on it. He's got a couple of very interesting ones. One hires a private detective to follow another private detective for a month. That's pretty clever, isn't it? You can check that out. And another one, he serves roadkill to food critics, so you can watch that one and see how that turns out as well. Horseshoe Bar down there, one of the most famous bars in Glasgow, in Jury Street. Karaoke upstairs there, pretty famous for as well. We've been heading up this way. And there's a couple of other really famous videos he's got where he becomes the richest man in the world, I think for about 2 minutes. You have to watch that one, it's pretty clever as well. If you're into your street food, a couple of places down here. And I think he's possibly also got the shortest marriage in history of about 1 or 2 minutes. You can check that one out as well. He's got some really interesting videos. The guy's a bit of a genius, so I thought I'd go and see him at the Pavilion and find out what it's all about. And I'll let you know if there's any hidden gems. To be fair, if there is a genuine loophole, little Tuscany there, the genuine loophole, I might need to keep it a secret because that would be spoiling his act, wouldn't it? I don't agree with people going to comedy shows and filming the whole set and putting on YouTube and stuff like that. Different maybe a singer, because a singer, the song's going to be the same every time you go, really, isn't it? Or other people are going to sing it, but comedians a bit different. Their material can last a whole year. Revolution to Cuba there. Wee taco bar there. Right, we're heading up to the left hand side up towards the Pavilion. Did you know when the Pavilion opened? Let me tell you, viewers, you'll be shocked. It's a very, very old theatre in Glasgow. One of the oldest. I think there's only 2 that are older than it.
He's not very good.
And it opened in 1904, I believe. 1904, viewers. How interesting is that? Some very, very famous people have played at the Pavilion. Pretty well known for the pantomimes here in Glasgow. Hold on till I get my camera steady. There's the Merchant, well known pub. I might have time to go in for 1 pint before the Pavilion. The Pavilion bar prices are on a par with Las Vegas. Check out my Las Vegas videos, they are absolutely outrageous. I could go down to George Square, go down to Counting House, the Witherspoon, but no time for that. So it was opened in 1904 and it's got a capacity of 1,449. 1,449 viewers. So it's a pretty big theatre. Opened as a music hall And it was one of 3 Glasgow venues operating of a growing chain of British music halls, and it was regarded as luxurious at the time, viewers. Oh, the bus is here, look, wee bus going to Paisley, number 9. There's a Maltman, they do kind of karaoke and DJs at the weekend, it's pretty busy in there. They've got some French Renaissance design inside the pavilion as well. And from 1920 they started producing pantomimes, so it's very famous in December and January for doing the pantomimes. I'm going to be honest with you, I think the pantomime at the King's is better quality than the Pavilion, but I'm sure the Pavilion's pretty good as well. I've not been at the Pavilion panto for many years. The King's is very good. They've got Elaine C. Smith, used to have Gerard Kelly, Hiya Pals, for all my Glasgow viewers, you'll all recognise that one. So yeah, some memories back in the day from then. Let's head up this way. Charlie Chaplin has played at the Pavilion. Did you know that? Interesting facts you're getting in this one. So if you're from Glasgow, it's maybe a wee trip down memory lane for you. Coming up here on the left hand side up towards the Pavilion. At the very top here, round the corner, we've got the Buchanan Street bus station, where you've probably seen me doing a few videos heading to Edinburgh Airport, which I'll be doing quite soon as well. There's a Raven over there, again another place that does karaoke. Now, one of the most famous artists that played here recently, and they've set a record for selling out in almost record time, is the mighty Fosh. So they're pretty famous as well. The pantomime has featured famous Scottish acts such as the Crankies, and tragically there was a serious accident with the Crankies many years ago. Made a full recovery now, hopefully. A couple of the Italian bars down here, let's see if we can cross over with the Green Man. Cat Harvey, Stephen Purden, Jim Davidson, Johnny Mack, Michelle McManus, Grado's in Two Doors Down, that's a really funny programme, check that out. If you've seen my videos of Mallorca, you might have seen me doing a wee video in McTavish's in Santa Ponsa when Grado was actually in with his pals that night and he was up singing at the karaoke. Give me a wee comment, Grado, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. Okay, we're almost at the Pavilion now, so I'm going to begin in and I'm going to ask the Pavilion staff basically what time is the actual show starting, because I cannot begin in here early. I'll begin round to Lauders or Louders, how they pronounce it, Sauchiehall Street, just down there on the left as well, and the right to be fair. So we'll probably go in one of the bars round about here before I head in, and I'll continue this review after the show and let you know what the show was like. Don't think about what film ending in the place. John Lewis, Buchanan Street galleries down there, Buchanan Galleries. So here is the famous Pavilion on the left hand side. I'm expecting quite a young crowd in here because I think the guy's pretty popular on TikTok and Instagram, where all the young people are. Although he has got a massive YouTube channel. So I'm actually really looking forward to the show. It's going to be something different. It's busy in there, isn't it? It's going to be something completely different. Now, I didn't really have any friends or family who'd be interested in this YouTube stuff, so I'm just heading in here myself, and it will be quite interesting. Let's see some of the acts that play at Pavilion. Got some tribute ones coming up, King of Pop, musicals and stuff like that as well. Gone but not forgotten. Okay, that might be the pantomime they're advertising there, Beauty and the Beastie. Singing I'm No a Billy, He's a Tim. This is a show about Rangers and Celtic fans. It's been running for many years. Also ran at the Edinburgh Festival as well. Rocky Horror Show with Jason Donovan is coming on as well. We will be getting in there just in a wee minute. I'm going to ask them exactly what time the show starts. There's the Arthur Arms up here as well. The Maldron Hotel, which is quite a well-known chain here also. A famous band there as well. Okay, so I'm going to pop in here. There's a cinema, walkabout across here as well. Potentially could go in there for a drink as well. The Glee Comedy Club, the Tom Stade playing the other night, quite a well-known comedy club up here as well. The bus station, take me to Edinburgh Airport just round the corner. Right, I'm going to head in the Pavilion, check when it's starting. You might see me in a pub before we go in here, and after it we'll let you know what the show's like. Okay, Lauders, just got time for a half pint. We packet of Piper's Chris as well, £4.10 for a half pint of Margie. Packet of Chris, lovely bar in here. I think 1836 it dates back to. But we need to head into the Pavilion right now in about 2 minutes maybe. Okay, in the Pavilion now, check out this. Mr. Glasgow, Glen Daly, blasting the plastic, all this stuff on the wall, old memorabilia. It's pretty cool to say the least. The Collins Variety Agency. The queue for the bar is insane. I don't think there's any chance of getting a drink here. I've got 10 minutes before the show starts. There's a 25-minute interval, so we might be able to get a wee drink in the interval, I don't know, but we'll see. The queue goes all the way back there, up the stairs. It's absolutely mad. We've got Moretti and draft as well, which will suit me fine. I'm going to go in the queue, see if we can get a wee drink. Some of the famous people up here as well. Okay, 2 minutes before the show starts, we're in seat R40 and I've managed to secure a pint of Moretti. It was cheaper than expected, £6.50, and I've ordered one for the interval as well. The show lasts 2 hours, I think, with a 25-minute interval. So, not a bad wee seat if I need to nip out anywhere, right at the edge. Pretty busy, eh? Okay, it's the interval, and I think I'm the only person who's ordered a drink at the bar, which kind of highlights the age of the audience. Some classic pictures here. All the older people know that you order drinks at the interval. The young ones are in the queue. Rab C. Nisbet, Barbara Rafferty there. Famous faces on there as well. See 2 guys who spin TVs at Colin and Justin, maybe? I think so. Bernie Winters. Some of the old posters up here are amazing. Pint Moretti is quite nice to be fair, and although not cheap, £6.50 is not that bad for the theatre, believe me. Coming from Vegas, it's not too bad.
Lots of lovely people.
Let's go back to the interval.
You look like if beans on toast came to life.
Okay viewers, we are just out of the Pavilion, Max, Fosh, loophole. Let me tell you my thoughts. We'll take a wee walk in Glasgow, let's go. It's absolutely Baltic here, it's so cold, it's unbelievable. So we just came from Pavilion just round the corner here. There's Buchanan Galleries just there as well. Quite a lot of people heading up the way. I don't think they're open this time of night, but you never know. Statue of Donald Dewar there. Heading down the way. I forgot to tell you how much that guy cost at the Pavilion. Pavilion is quite a nice theatre. It's got a lot of history. And I really enjoy actually going to a show there. £26 for that show. I think there's a £3.50 booking fee. Booking fees in everywhere, Ticketmaster and all the other places, they're just complete scams, aren't they? Booking fees. What is the booking fee for? No idea, but anyway, it's at £29.50, which for nowadays, for any show in any major city, is very, very cheap. Was it worth the money, viewers? 100%, absolutely. I was shocked how good Max Fosh was at delivering content. He's not a stand-up comedian, but he knows how to work an audience. Very, very clever stuff. The first half of the show I wasn't sure about, I have to be honest with you. The first kind of 15-20 minutes, Max came out, and when you go into the show, there's a QR code where you can fill in for a questionnaire. It's like a wee quiz where you can win a giveaway. That's revealed at the end of the show. I won't reveal the ending because you need to watch the show. But there's a questionnaire the audience can fill in, various questions, kind of silly questions, but they all basically come into play during the show. It's really interesting. So the first 15-20 minutes was okay, just getting an introduction to the show. Then a support act, a comedian comes on, Brennan Rees, who I thought was really good because he was interacting with the audience. He didn't just have a script, he was actually speaking to the audience in the first couple of rows, and he was working his audience, his material round about that, so I thought he was really good. So then we went to the interval, nice place for Thai food there as well. So then we went to the interval and come back about 8:30. Then the next hour was basically Max Fosh, and that's when the show I thought really improved. Very, very clever stuff. I can't reveal kind of almost all the show, but it's so funny. If you run a YouTube channel, you see some of the stuff he's done was genius. One of the other guys on YouTube who's got a massive YouTube channel, like 2 million subscribers, called him out in the video, and Max basically joined his coaching programme. I won't review all the details, you have to watch it really to understand that. It's George Square down there, we're heading down this way. Really clever. When you see some of Mac's videos, you realise the guy's in a different level. Some of his ideas for videos are beyond comprehension. He's got one video, you'll see there like a wee chicken firecracker rice out of there. He's got one video where he breaks into a security convention. That's one of his videos. Really clever. Kind of reminds me a wee bit of the early days of Simon Wilson, another brilliant YouTuber. But his videos are just so funny. Genius ideas. And I think sometimes you can't really compare yourself to him because the level of thinking he goes into these videos, it's not even just about the editing, it's more about the execution and the ideas. And I realised that as the show went on, he recruited various people from the audience to do various jobs, and then at the end it all made sense. I cannot reveal the loophole. It wasn't really related to YouTube. There's no kind of hidden secrets related to running a YouTube channel, apart from it helps if you're an absolute genius and you can work out titles, thumbnails and ideas for videos. That really helps obviously, but I just thought the last hour was really fantastic. Is it for everybody? No. Most of the audience are pretty young. Even the first kind of hour, most of the audience next to me were loving it. They were all in hysterics, really loving it. I much preferred the last hour, but it was more about YouTube. He showed some of his titles, his thumbnails, some of the videos. You get a wee bit of a background behind the videos as well. And we're talking about a guy who's got 2, 3, 4, 5 million views on videos. So really interesting. So that was it, viewers. In Glasgow tonight, I think I'm just going to head into another wee bar for another pint before I got the road and the train. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go yet. Will I go around this way towards Central? Maybe. Probably will actually. I'll go down towards Central and I'll head in somewhere else. You might see this at the end of the video. If I go in somewhere else, I'll wait and see. This is getting filmed on a Thursday night. It's absolutely freezing. It's like winter here, it's unbelievable. But the Pavilion, a show for under £30. The show was jam-packed, mostly a younger audience. As you can see, people behind me, mostly a younger audience, but I thought it was highly recommended. I think you have to have an interest basically in YouTube, or maybe even TikTok or viral videos. If you're going to see Max Fosh, you're almost going to have to know who he is before you go. He did start the video off showing you a couple of gigs he'd done. We had a couple of people in who did not know who he was, and he explains how he demonstrated his channel to them. That's quite funny. So yeah, really interesting. Central just to the left. I'm going to head into another bar round about here. If you're new to the channel, hit the wee subscribe button. It's absolutely free, doesn't cost anything. We are way behind Max Fosh, about 4 million subscribers behind Max. So give it a wee subscribe. I recommend that show if you're in the UK or worldwide. As I said, he's touring all around the world, mostly native countries, as he says at the start. It's quite funny. But I thought it was a really good show. If you're anywhere interested in TikTok or YouTube or viral videos, you'll really enjoy the show. Kitty O'Shea's, next to the train station. Pretty busy.